Alright, hello there guys, it's Mauricio, welcome back to another product review, and today I'll be doing a review on this, the Hitscan Hyperlight. Per my usual disclaimer, Hitscan did not send this out to me. I purchased this with my own money, so any opinions that I'll say during this video is my own and my own honest opinion only. Before we start talking about the mouse, let's do the usual and talk about the packaging. The hitbox packaging is just a matte black box with a glossy look on the mouse. It reminds me a lot of a phone box, the way it's like shaped and all. Hitscan Hyperlight, their logo, and nothing much else. Inside the box you'll get the mouse itself and the accompanying 1 kHz dongle with a type C to type A very stiff paracord cable, and the usual manual and user guide, of course. I like the shape. It's a small mouse, very claw focused with the hump, very noticeable towards the back, providing a very nice support for my grip. It's small enough that I could be very agile in games that need it, but stable with good enough hump that it provides me some good stability. And a lot of people say that the mouse itself resembles or it's a copy of the Razer Viper Mini. Again, I don't have my Viper Mini anymore. This is the Viper Mini SE clone, of course. And if you want the truth from me, I would say this outright: it's not a Viper Mini shape. It's not close enough for me to be like it's a Viper Mini clone. I would say it's an alternative if you are tired of the Viper Mini or you don't want to spend your arm and a leg for the Viper Mini SE. It could be a good enough option, but I personally think that Viper Mini, to me at least, still feels much better, and I'll talk about why. But the Hitscan Hyperlight does enough for me to be like, hey, it's a good alternative. I play incredibly well with the shape as well. And if there's not going to be a Viper Mini, like lightweight proper Viper Mini in the future, I think Hitscan is enough for people who want that. It's not a clone though, it's not one-to-one. There's enough differences that will make me actually prefer the Viper Mini more, but in this current state of the gaming mouse scene, this is close enough. The shape measurement is 118mm in terms of its length, 61mm on its widest point, which is more towards the back of the mouse here, with 38mm on its hump, which is more towards the middle with a very gradual slope off towards the back. So I have a 19 by 10.5 centimeter hands, and I can perfectly do my normal relaxed pincer and claw, no issue there. Really comfortable mouse. And when you compare that to, again, the Viper Mini, one thing that you would notice straight away is how flat the sides are. This is good for people who like the Viper Mini but find that the sides might be too narrow or it's too curved in, making their ring or pinky finger tired. So if you ever want to, if you ever think of yourself, you want a less flared out Viper Mini, more flatter, I think the Hitscan Hyperlight is a good alternative to that. It does feel much more flatter in hand, and my grip kind of hopefully proves that as well. You guys can see my ring and pinky is like mostly aligned, showing on the sides there. Meanwhile, on the Viper Mini, it's a little bit more flared out, and I personally do enjoy mouse that have flaring out on the front, but I know some people who gets really tired with their ring finger and hurt after like a few sessions of gaming. So I think the Hitscan Hyperlight is a pretty good shape in of itself, but I wouldn't call it a Viper Mini clone in this regard. But personally, I still prefer how much curvature you get out of the Viper Mini compared to the Hitscan, and that is enough for me to actually prefer this shape. But at this current state of the gaming mouse scene, I don't think we'll ever get a one-to-one Viper Mini clone. I could miss some, so if you guys know any, comment section down below, I need to know. Another point of comparison I want to make is something that I do not have in-house right now. It's the ATK F1 Ultimate or Extreme or F1 Pro, anything from the ATK F1 line. From elo shape, it might seem similar. You know, you can like overlay it. It looks very similar. You might think, oh, I should just save some money and get the ATK F1. You could, but I personally have tried both mouse side by side and played and I put some time on it, and personally find that I play better on the Hitscan, and I prefer the shape on the Hitscan more. Is it a big enough difference? Maybe, but I do play better on the Hitscan, and I much rather have the Hitscan over the ATK F1. It's not the same shape, it looks similar, it could be similar, but there is enough differences on both mouse that you could prefer the Hitscan over the ATK and vice versa. The build quality on the Hitscan Hyperlight is really good. It's mostly made out of plastic, but it's solid enough that I don't have any flexing. I've had my copy for about a few weeks now, and There are slight noises, but nothing that's concerning. It's not a creaking noise, it's not a popping noise, but there's no flexing that is noticeable during gaming and during the stress test, which is good. The bottom plastic, of course, will have some flex to them, but you're not going to be pushing anything down here. The front button have very minimal side to side but play, which is I really like. There's no grinding when you're pushed down and wobble as well. There is slight pre-travel on M1 and M2 on my copy, but very minor, and slight post-travel on both M1 and M2 as well, which is good enough. Especially for the price, I don't think I would complain about very minute pre and post travel on both M1 and M2. There's no rattling on scroll wheel, and M4 and M5 both feels good with very slight pre-travel on both M4 and M5. Hello guys, it's Editing Maurice here. I forgot to mention that the weight of the Hitscan Hyperlight is around 40 grams on my scale, and the weight balance is more centralized, and the sensor position is slightly forward. I forgot to mention this. I don't know if I even actually mentioned it in the video, but if I don't, here is the recording for that. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention this, but the coating on the Hitscan Hyperlight is really good. It's more to chalky feeling than grippy feeling. I don't know if that makes sense. Here's the OP1. The OP1 has a very rubberized feeling to it, and you guys can see if I drag my finger, it will capture like my oil. But on the Hitscan Hyperlight, it's more chalky. It doesn't attract as much fingerprint as the OP1's coating, but eventually you will have some fingerprint stains and oil on your clicks, and that's fine. But the coating is good. Here it is, the comparison. It's grippy enough that I never find myself needing grip tapes, which is again something that I always use, and to me the coating is fine. Next, let's talk about the buttons. It is using Omron opticals, and the implementation feels really good. Pair that with a very low button height makes this a very snappy, very fast clicks to use in game. It's very spammable, but not light enough that you would accidentally actuate it in game. And I have no complaints. Again, the low pre-travel, low post-travel with the Omron opticals feels really good, and the implementation is nice as well. The scroll wheel is using TTC Gold Dustproof, and this feels good. There's enough steps that it's not light enough that I hate it, but it's not too heavy that you might have a hard time scrolling in game and finding precise steps, which I really like. It's not too loud either, so if you don't like loud scroll wheel, you got this covered. And the middle click is, I would say, medium actuation. It's not too easy to spam, but it's not too hard to click that you would accidentally scroll up or scroll down. The side buttons is very crispy, very tactile, really nice. The position of it on my grip is not hard to actuate in game at all, so I would say that's a good thing. The shape is very nice. It protrudes out of the body a little bit, enough for me to easily feel them in game. And there's not much bad to say about the buttons on the Hitscan Hyperlight. They definitely nailed in this department. The sensor on the Hitscan Hyperlight is of course using the 3395 with up to 8000 Hz polling rate capabilities, but my review testing period and my review today will only be focusing on the 1K Hz included dongle in the box. The 3395 implementation here is great. Mouse tester 1.4 found no issue, perfect stability on the polling rate stability check. DPI deviation, I have noticed no worrying deviation that it's worth mentioning to you guys. I'll put the picture up here if I redid the test. And gaming with this mouse have been really good. Again, sensor nowadays is a very hard thing to talk about because they're just so good. It's more on the shape, the buttons, and the sensor itself is just okay. It performs well. I have zero complaints. When I was at RGT, I tried with the 4000 Hz dongle and performed really well with it. And in game, there's never any stuttering issue. I never had any jitteriness, floatiness. It feels just as good as any other 3395 that is implemented really well. So no complaints on the sensor. The wireless performance, again, I have the 1K Hz dongle plugin in front of my mousepad and I have zero issue. The 8K Hz dongle will have it light up. The 1K Hz dongle perform well enough in game that I never find myself wanting more, and to me that's a good implementation. Battery life on the Hitscan Hyperlight is really good too. I've only charged them once ever since I got the testing, and still haven't needed to charge it yet. and I've been playing very heavy with it, so like the battery can easily last you a week or more or less depending on how much you use it. I cannot comment on the battery life on 4K and 8K because again I don't have the applicable dongle for that testing, but on my 1 GHz I think the battery life is good enough that you do not need to worry about charging it, especially if you don't use it as heavy as I do, gaming for like a bunch of hours a single day. So I think battery life is perfectly fine as well. The mouse gates here is actually quite good. This is the stocks mouse feet. You have two options. You can go a big one or two or four small one. I went with the 4 small one, and most of my testing is not on the glass pad. It's actually on the Pat Smith Temple of Dream, GameSense radar, and the LGG Saturn, and also the Freefall. And on most of the pads I find myself not needing to change the skates. If you play on like the bigger variant, you might find some imbalance, but on the 4 corner skate I find no issue using this mouse feet in like the mouse pad that I mentioned at all. Personally, if I use this on a glass pad, I would change it to like Dots Jade Airs or any other harder material, because this one does make a lot more noise and scratch more than like my dot skates that could also be surface area. But if you play on a cloth pads, I personally wouldn't even bother changing the stock skates. And the software is a bit disappointing at 80 bucks. I wish there's WebDriver. It seems like it's a trend now to have WebDriver. I don't want to download more and more software, but the software is light enough that you can download it, set up your settings, and uninstall it. It's not a big deal. And personally, that's about it. There's not much to talk about the Hitscan Hyperlight. It's a very good mouse, but it's also nothing special to it. You know, if I bring out this, the fingertip 3D print, this is a lot to talk about. It's a very nice, interesting shape. Or if I bring something that's more budget end, there's like, if I bring something that's more budget end, I'll be like, this is a good mouse for the price, yada yada yada. But for 80 bucks, it hits all the like things that I needed to hit, and it performs well enough in game that I have zero complaints. And it's just good. It's just a mid gaming mouse. I'm sorry if that's not what you want to hear. I would still strongly recommend you to buy this mouse. And again, no shade to Hitscan. They release an incredible mouse for the price. The coding is good, the build is good, the clicks is good, performance good, the sensors, the mouse feet's good. I feel like including an 8K dongle out of the box would have been a much more better choice. It's really hard to justify paying another 120 ringgit, I think, for an 8K dongle. But if you like the mouse, I know you will get it, and I think even with the 8K dongle, it's still a really good value, because I think the Hyperlight is a very solid small mouse contender for the year 2025, and I think a lot more people should try this mouse out. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys like this video, leave me a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give me a thumbs down. Both feedbacks help me out a lot. If you have any question regarding the mouse, leave down in the comment section down below. I try to answer them as soon as I can, as fast as I can. And if you like this style, if you like my video, subscribing will be very helpful. We'll be very grateful. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.